This week I took a last-minute trip to Oahu to get away from the storms in Santa Cruz. This week was unexpectedly exciting. It started out a little stormy but manageable, but it quickly escalated, and the very next day it was pouring down rain with a high tide and big rowdy surf. I was pretty sure this 100 days of surfing thing was actually a big mistake. The water quality was questionable, and getting in and out was downright treacherous. I did manage to catch my first wave on a mid-length, this 7'2" twin fin fish from Almond, and I was really psyched about that. I'm actually really excited to try this board on cleaner waves. I managed to get out safely, and I think without any brain-eating amoebas, but when I looked at the forecast, it was slated to just get worse and worse. So I did what any reasonable person would do, and I booked a last-minute trip to Oahu. I booked the Airbnb and plane ticket the night before, and the very next morning we were driving through the pouring rain to the airport. I even got to sit next to a service dog on the plane. Hi, Cleo! When I got there, I still needed to squeeze in a surf for the day, so I hustled over to my favorite surf rental place, Quality Surfboards. They have some really nice boards, and the staff is all super nice and knowledgeable about the area. Even though the water was warm, the wind was really kicking while I was there, gusting at 30 miles per hour at times, and I was actually freezing in my swimsuit, literally shivering. I always thought people wearing wetsuits in Hawaii were just spoiled and used to the warm water, but I learned real quick that the wind can really make you very cold, even in the warm water. The very next day I ate my words and I bought a wetsuit jacket, which made a world of difference. Karma's real, guys. Even though the weather was still gloomy and rainy and windy in Oahu, it was so nice compared to the storm I left behind in Santa Cruz. I was really happy I could make this quick trip happen. I just finished up some work projects and had just enough extra to be able to make this quick trip work. I found the cheapest room near the surf and did the best I could to make the trip work on a budget. I walked everywhere and ate as cheap as I could to save most of my money for the plane ticket and surf rentals. I did grab a very expensive and very yummy smoothie at the Sunrise Shack for some vitamins, obviously. I did get a little bit of beach time in on the main Waikiki beach in between sessions, but mostly I focused on surfing since this was such a short trip. Next time I'll try to go for longer, and I'd love to eat some good food and explore more, so let me know in the comments if you have ideas. The second, third, and fourth days, I rented this 9'6" Lost Not Found board, and it was really fun. Overall, the surf in Oahu is so much different than I'm used to. The reef breaks get steep quick, especially as the tide drops, and the reef is treacherous, especially at low tide. I learned that the hard way when I almost got stranded on a reef shelf after veering too far from the channel on the paddle in one day. While I was surfing, I had a lot of motivation to choose good waves, not fall, or at least fall correctly, and I got a lot of practice kicking out of waves before I got smashed. One thing I loved about surfing here is that there are a ton of lefts, something I don't get to practice often at home. But before I knew it, it was time to go back home, and honestly it was pretty nice to see some familiar faces, my dogs, and some blue skies at home. A couple of my friends also let me know that they're always down for a last-minute trip to Oahu, so now I can recruit a few friends for next time. I should probably start saving up for that, just in case. There's always a chance a storm could come rolling in, so I'm just keeping an open mind and taking it day by day. We'll see what next week holds. If you haven't already, be sure to follow my updates on Instagram and like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. See you next week!